Doom Eternal's Update 6.66 Rev 2 released on April 26, 2022, and brought new accessibility features, cosmetics, and quality of life changes. After this update was released, Doom Eternal would not receive any further support outside of an update for the Switch version, a handful of new battle mode cosmetics, and seasonal events that contained recycled items from previous seasons. After game director Hugo Martin confirmed more updates during dev streams, many of us were patiently waiting for the next big content drop, but it never came. Update 6.66 Rev 2 marked the end of a game that was supposed to be eternal. They left it without any additional multiplayer modes or ways to get increased replay value outside of playing Horde mode. For a while, that was pretty much it for the Doom franchise. There were no announcements at the 2022 Xbox Summer Showcase or QuakeCon, and outside of some community mods for Classic Doom, we wouldn't get any more official Doom content until Sunday, December 4th, when the Doomslayer was added to Fortnite. As a part of the Chapter 4 Season 1 Battle Pass, Fortnite would introduce 4 Doomslayer variations and a full set of matching items, like a Cacodemon glider and a Crucible harvesting tool. They would also include a free Doom music pack as a part of their Christmas 2022 event, which ended up being a fun way to end a year that was pretty lacking in Doom content. The future of the franchise seemed pretty uncertain past this point. We had no idea what would come next or if we'd even get anything significant for another few years. After only a month and a half of waiting, we got the surprise reveal of Mighty Doom in late February and the full release of the newest Doom spin-off in March of this year. Mighty Doom was initially received very poorly by the community before launch, then it received a shocking amount of praise at launch, and now is generally considered to be a half-decent throwaway spin-off. It gets updated once a month with varying amounts of content, but is not what the majority of the community is looking for. Mighty Doom has lost its value as the most recent piece of Doom content, and with most players moving on from the game, we've gone right back to questioning the future of the franchise. So, outside of updates to a spin-off mobile game, what's next for Doom? The two biggest upcoming projects are the rumored television series and the next game, but we don't know much about either of those. The rumored series is reportedly being developed for the Peacock streaming service and will apparently be entirely live action. This rumor was really hit or miss until the director of an upcoming video game movie randomly tweeted out pictures of Doom without explanation shortly after the rumor broke, which increased the chances of the series being real. If you're familiar with the previous live-action Doom projects, Doom 2005 and Doom Annihilation, you probably don't want anything to do with the series, and I can't say I blame you. If the rumor is true and a new Doom series is in the works, we likely won't be hearing anything about it for at least another year. When it comes to the next AAA Doom game, details are pretty scarce. Game director Hugo Martin has previously stated during interviews that he would like for the next Doom game to be entirely different from Doom Eternal, as the team at id Software firmly believes in delivering a different and unique experience with each game. Doom Eternal was an extremely fast-paced experience with a heavy emphasis on using the right tool for the job, and instead of upping the speed and using the same combat formula, Hugo Martin suggests that they want to shake things up a bit. The next game will aim to be slightly slower than Doom Eternal, but have a heavy emphasis on raw, destructive power, and as Hugo explains it, this game will be a monster truck instead of a sports car that Doom 2016 and Eternal presented themselves as. You're essentially trading some of the Slayer's speed for more power in combat, which I think sounds like an interesting concept. But that's all it really is, just a concept. The game could be entirely different by the time the final product is released. These details are not set in stone, but the ones we've lifted from job listings are. All that we can confirm is that id Software's next game will be a single-player focused FPS featuring a lone hero with an incredible arsenal going up against hordes of enemies. Pretty much what you'd expect from a typical id Software title. The only problem is that id Software's next game and the next Doom game are two entirely different projects. Along with giving us some details on their plans for the next Doom game, Hugo has also stated that the team is exhausted after making 2 Doom games in a row and they're interested in doing something a little different. The various job listings that have popped up throughout the past 2 years have helped us narrow it down to either a new Quake game or an entirely new IP. And considering the recent Quake remaster and the upcoming Quake 2 remaster, I feel like there's a high chance that it's Quake. It is still possible that they change their mind at some point really early on in development, but recent comments made by the heads of Xbox make me feel confident that it's not Doom. Everyone who knows what the project is seems to be really excited about it in a way that you wouldn't really see if it was just another Doom game. So it may actually be another 5 or so years before the Doomslayer comes back to save humanity once again. Of course, that doesn't mean that the Doom franchise will remain dormant for the entirety of that time, because there are bound to be other Doom projects in the works. The original Doom turns 30 years old later this year on December 10th. There's not a chance that we don't get a handful of projects to celebrate such a huge milestone. An official lorebook for the modern Doom series was announced a few years ago, and it was apparently very close to completion around late 2021, but we haven't heard anything since then. The 30th anniversary of the franchise would be the perfect occasion to release the long-awaited guide. They could use this as a way to celebrate Doom's lore and history, even with the lack of a full game. I would usually just assume that the project is cancelled, but they apparently had a ton of work done on the lore book. I can't see them just letting that go to waste. Another likely possibility is an updated port of Doom RPG and Doom 2 RPG, which have yet to be released outside of mobile devices. It would be a simple yet effective way for them to generate easy revenue while also celebrating a part of a franchise that a lot of the community isn't familiar with. Aside from the Doom 3 mobile game Doom Resurrections, the RPGs are the only full Doom games that have not been brought over to modern platforms, so it's not too much of a stretch to assume that they might change that in order to celebrate the anniversary. Since Mighty Doom was so successful, I can also see them bringing that over to consoles and PC. The game isn't really formatted for widescreen play, but I'm sure that they would still bring it over just for the chance to make some extra money off of the game. They did the same thing with Fallout Shelter after it got popular, so it's definitely not out of the cards. We will probably see a few other crossovers since the previous two did well, but there's no telling when those will come. And although it's extremely unlikely, there is a slim chance that we see a side game that has less content for a cheaper price. I definitely wouldn't bet on it though. The one thing I can absolutely guarantee that we won't be seeing is a remake of the classics. They have been asked about this in the past and they've confirmed that they're not interested in creating remakes. Id Software is here to make fun new experiences, not tread old ground. I have seen a good amount of people say that they absolutely want a Doom remake, but I just don't think it's something they should ever do. You can only add a few things to classic Doom before the experience is completely changed and no longer represents the original product. The entire point of a remake is to update an older game while still keeping the overall feel and themes of the original, so if you can't do that, then what's the point in making a remake? There's already hundreds of mods out there that improve classic Doom in every way imaginable, so if you're looking to play an upgraded version of the classics, you kinda already can. The official console ports of Doom are still being updated with mods every so often, so who knows, maybe they'll add something like ray tracing in the near future. All I know is that they don't plan on trying to remake something that doesn't need a remake. Id Software will continue to dedicate themselves to new ideas, big and small. And that's pretty much all we're left with, a handful of smaller upcoming official projects and an endless amount of community created content. Doom is not a franchise that needs to have a constant flow of official content to stay relevant and keep fans entertained. The series is so impactful that it can go years without an official entry and still be just as important when it returns. Doom's incredible catalog of content, both official and fan-made, will keep us all busy while Id Software cooks up something spectacular. It may not be a brand new Doom game, but it sure as hell will be fun, that's a guarantee. You can learn more about their next game by tapping on the video that's on screen now. You'll get the latest information on what Id Software has been up to. Go ahead and watch the video, it's some pretty promising news that you don't want to miss out on. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, I hope you enjoyed it. That's unfortunately pretty much all that I have to say for now, though. Until next time.